Something remarkable is happening on the rails of Los Angeles. The Metro K Line and A Line are no longer just transit routes. They're catalysts of change. The K Line, once a quiet corridor, is now buzzing with riders. The A Line, with its new expansion, is setting new records. Together, they're sending a clear message: LA is embracing public transit with bold enthusiasm. But why now? What's fueling this ridership boom? And what does it mean for the future of mobility in the city? In today's episode of Great Trainspeed, we uncover the story behind LA's train-powered transformation. This video is created with the help of the MetroLink Railfan. Be sure to check out their channel and help grow our rail community together. The K Line is one of Los Angeles County's newer light rail routes, and it's part of the 6-line Los Angeles Metro rail system operated by Metro. It's actually the newest named line in the network, officially opening on October 7th, 2022. Stretching about 11 miles, the K Line runs roughly north-south from Jefferson Park down toward Redondo Beach. Along the way, it threads through key neighborhoods like Westchester, South Los Angeles, and the city of Inglewood, giving riders a new backbone for everyday trips across this part of the region. It also connects directly to the Los Angeles International Airport via the LAX Metro Transit Center, making it an important link for travelers as well. On November 3rd, 2024, Metro made a major service change to get ready for the opening of the LAX Metro Transit Center. As part of that shift, the western segment of the C Line, west of Aviation Imperial Station, was reassigned and became part of the K Line. That move reshaped how riders move across the corridor and strengthened the K Line's role in the overall network. And now, the K Line isn't just the new kid on the system anymore. It's starting to rack up some serious wins of its own. This year, it has hit a major milestone in ridership and performance. So, what exactly did the K Line achieve? Let's dive in and take a closer look. In August 2025, Los Angeles Metro's K Line quietly hit a huge milestone. Weekday ridership climbed to an estimated 8,225 riders. That's not just a 4.8% jump over July, it's a massive 153% increase compared to August 2024. And the story doesn't stop there. In September, the K Line went even further, reaching 8,485 weekday riders, up another 3.1% month over month, and 156% over the previous September. For a line that's often been described as still finding its footing, this feels like a real breakout moment. Now, there is an important footnote. In November 2024, Metro reconfigured the C and K lines, and the K Line picked up a few stations from the C Line. That naturally boosted its numbers and reshaped rider patterns along the corridor. So, yes, comparing today's K Line with its pre-reconfiguration self isn't exactly apples to apples. Still, even with that asterisk, the direction of travel is clear that more people are choosing the K Line, and they're doing it consistently. If you zoom out and look at the bigger picture, the combined ridership of the C and K lines tells an even more interesting story. In September 2025, the C Line carried about 19,590 weekday riders. Add in the K Line's 8,485,000, and you get a total of 28,075 weekday riders. That's the highest combined figure since February 2020, the last normal month before the pandemic hit. In other words, this corridor is not just recovering, it's pushing into new territory. And that's what makes this moment so encouraging. These aren't just stats buried in a report. They represent real people deciding that taking the train is worth it for work, for school, for games, for the airport, for everyday life. The K Line is benefiting from better connectivity, a more logical network layout, and growing awareness of what it offers. So yes, we should acknowledge the asterisk. The line did inherit some stations, but at the same time, an all-time record is still an all-time record. For a young line that's been through construction headaches, service changes, and a major reconfiguration, hitting these numbers is a big deal. Hurrah for the K Line, it's finally starting to look like the corridor Metro always hoped it would be. Excitement is mounting among transit riders as the K Line continues to evolve. Many passengers are eagerly anticipating the northern and southern extensions, referring to the line as a bad boy poised for even greater impact. There's a shared belief that these expansions will unlock new opportunities, not just for mobility, but for community development. Some writers emphasize the urgent need for more housing along the K-Line corridor, suggesting that transit-oriented development, TOD, could be a game changer in boosting ridership and revitalizing neighborhoods. The hope is that smart planning will align with the transit upgrades, creating vibrant, accessible communities. Looking ahead, there's buzz around the upcoming Skylink connection. Passengers predict that once it's operational, the K-Line will explode once again, especially with the Torrance and Hollywood extensions in the pipeline. Optimism runs high, with many expressing that they can't wait for these additions, confident that they will elevate the system to new heights. And this isn't the final stop for this route, while even bigger projects are already on the horizon, shaping the vision for LA's transit future. Are you ready to see how the city's biggest and busiest light rail line fits into this growing wave of momentum and transformation across the metro system? Drop one if you're excited, or 0 if you have another idea. Since its opening in 1990, Los Angeles Metro's A-Line has evolved far beyond its original expectations. What began as a modest light rail route between Long Beach and downtown Los Angeles has transformed into the region's busiest transit corridor. This is an urban spine carrying nearly 15 million passengers a year, stretching 48.5 miles and connecting 44 stations. It's now officially the longest light rail line in the world, surpassing Belgium's 42-mile Coast Tram. But more than a record of length, the A-Line embodies Los Angeles' broader ambition to build a world-class, multimodal transit system ready for the challenges of the 2020s. The most recent extension, opened in September 2025, reconnected the San Gabriel Valley to the regional rail network for the first time since 1951. By extending the A-Line eastward to include Azusa, Glendora, San Dimas, Laverne, and Pomona, LA Metro revived a corridor that had been dormant for more than 7 decades. In just 12 days of service, the new segment recorded nearly 3,000 boardings, a very strong sign of public enthusiasm and pent-up demand for rail connectivity in the suburbs. This expansion comes during a period of renewed optimism for LA Metro. The agency reported 26.26 million boardings in September 2025, only 1.9% below the same month last year. This remarkable stability considers economic fluctuations and post-pandemic travel patterns. Even more importantly, Metro achieved 30 consecutive months of year-over-year ridership growth up to mid-2025, a feat few large U.S. transit systems can claim. Overall, system-wide ridership grew by an average of 1.1% annually, signaling a gradual but consistent recovery. Much of this resilience can be traced directly to the A-Line's performance. The line's new reach into the eastern suburbs has opened opportunities for thousands of commuters and event-goers who once relied on congested highways like the I-10 and I-210. Weekends, in particular, have seen a notable surge in ridership, reflecting the line's growing role not just as a commuter link, but as a leisure and tourism route. Families, visitors, and sports fans increasingly use the A-Line to reach cultural districts, beaches, and upcoming venues for international events. The Metro A-Line extension has people genuinely excited, especially those who've been waiting years for better transit options across the San Gabriel and Pomona valleys. One rider, who's also an A-Line train operator and a passionate transit advocate, shared how special the opening day felt. They brought their brother along and said it reminded them of the Azusa extension back in 2016. It felt like reliving that moment, they said, clearly proud to be part of it. For many, this is about finally having a real alternative to driving. The daily grind of commuting from Pomona Valley to Pasadena by car was exhausting and frustrating. Now, with 4 new stations added, there's a sense of relief and celebration. Metro is great. I ride it whenever I can. Love it, one passenger said, echoing the enthusiasm of countless others. And the excitement doesn't stop there. Some riders are already looking ahead, hoping the line will continue eastward. I hope this extends to San Bernardino, one person said, capturing the growing hope for even more connectivity across the region. We're going to leave it here for today. Thank you for being here. Until then, take care and stay motivated.